Well, I got to say, I'll never forget the time where you're standing.
I was on that show.
You were.
Yeah.
My pleasure, Donna. It's so good to see you again.
The iconic sitcom Cheers, which aired from 1982 to 1993, remains a comfort show for many even today. Its ensemble cast brought to life the patrons and staff of a Boston bar, creating characters that resonated with audiences worldwide. Decades later, many of the show's stars have continued to leave their mark on the entertainment industry. Join us today as we tell you about the lives and careers of the Cheers cast members. Let's start with everyone's favorite, Sam Malone. Ted Danson portrayed Sam Malone, the smooth-talking ex-baseball player turned bartender with a deep love for women, baseball, and his bar. As the central character of Cheers, Sam anchored the show with equal parts charm and emotional depth. Ted earned 2 Emmys and multiple nominations for the role, which lasted the entire 11-season run. Sam's chemistry with Diane and later Rebecca formed the emotional heartbeat of the show. After Cheers, Ted proved he was far more than just a sitcom star by tackling a wide variety of roles across genres. He found continued success with the sitcom Becker from 1998 to 2004. Played D.B. Russell on CSI Crime Scene Investigation, and delighted audiences as Michael, the morally ambiguous architect in NBC's The Good Place, a role that earned him new critical acclaim and introduced him to a younger generation of fans. In 2021, he starred in Mr. Mayor, created by Tina Fey and Robert Carlock. In 2024, he reunited with Woody Harrelson for the podcast Where Everybody Knows Your Name, a heartfelt and often hilarious tribute to the Cheers days. Outside of acting, Danson is a passionate environmental activist and co-founder of the American Oceans Campaign, now merged with Oceana. Married to fellow actor Mary Steenburgen since 1995, Ted's real-life love story has been as enduring as his legacy on screen. Shelley Long played Diane Chambers, the intellectual and often idealistic waitress whose arrival at Cheers in the pilot episode set the tone for the show's signature mix of romance and razor-sharp banter. Diane's on-again, off-again relationship with Sam Malone created one of TV's most iconic will-they-won't-they dynamics. Long won an Emmy and 2 Golden Globe Awards for her portrayal, but she left the show in 1987 at the peak of its popularity to pursue a film career and other creative projects, a move that remains one of the most talked about exits in sitcom history. Following her departure, Shelley starred in cult favorite films like Troop Beverly Hills and played Coral Brady in the Brady Bunch movie and its sequel. She also made a memorable return in the world of Cheers through several guest appearances on Frasier, reprising her role as Diane in standout episodes. In recent years, she had a recurring role in Modern Family as Dee Dee Pritchett, adding another quirky, complex mother figure to her resume. While Shelley has mostly stepped away from the spotlight in the 2020s, her contributions to sitcom history are undeniable. Kelsey Grammer joined Cheers in Season 3 as Dr. Fraser Kane, the uptight yet endearing psychiatrist who was originally introduced as Diane's love interest. His character, initially meant to be temporary, became a core part of the show's DNA, thanks to Grammer's compelling mix of intellect, arrogance, and unexpected vulnerability. When Cheers ended, Kelsey became one of TV's most enduring figures with the launch of Frasier, a spin-off that ran for 11 seasons and earned him 4 Primetime Emmy Awards for Outstanding Lead Actor in a Comedy Series. The show cemented Frasier Crane as a sitcom legend and showed Grammer's dramatic and comedic depth. Kelsey returned to the role once again in the 2023 Frasier reboot, this time with the character moving back to Boston, where his journey originally began. Although the revival was cancelled after 2 seasons, Grammer has expressed hope for continuing Frasier's story in some form, potentially even a reunion with Ted Danson's Sam Malone. Outside the Crane universe, Kelsey has taken on roles in theater, winning a Tony for La Cage aux Folles, voiced Sideshow Bob in The Simpsons, and appeared in the X-Men film series as Beast. In both voice and presence, Kelsey has remained a commanding figure in entertainment. Woody Harrelson enters Cheers in Season 4 as Woody Boyd, the sweet and simple bartender from Indiana who quickly became a fan favorite. His charming innocence brought a fresh energy to the bar, and Harrelson's comedic timing helped him transition from sitcom newcomer to breakout star. After Cheers, Woody shifted into a powerful film career, earning Oscar nominations for The People vs. Larry Flynt, The Messenger, and 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. His range expanded into cult classics like National Born Killers, comedies like Zombieland, and mainstream franchises such as The Hunger Games. In television, he stunned audiences with his gripping performance in True Detective Season 1, opposite Matthew McConaughey. In 2024, Woody reunited with Cheers co-star Ted Danson to co-host the nostalgic podcast, Where Everybody Knows Your Name, diving into behind-the-scenes stories and reflections on fame, friendship, and legacy. Off-screen, Woody is known for his environmental activism and laid-back lifestyle, often choosing unique indie roles over traditional blockbusters. John Ratzenberger gave us Cliff Calvin, the know-it-all mailman with a heart of gold and a mind full of trivia. Cliff's quirky monologues and awkward social skills made him a unique staple of the Cheers ensemble. After the series wrapped, John found a second career as the good luck charm of Pixar, voicing characters in nearly every one of their films for over 2 decades. From Ham the Piggy Bank in Toy Story to Mac the Truck in Cars and the Yeti in Monsters, Inc. Outside of Pixar, Ratzenberger stayed active with television guest spots, including a return as Cliff on Frasier and continued voice work across multiple platforms. He's also known for championing American manufacturing and skilled trades, hosting the show Made in America to highlight US-based craftsmanship. Though he's kept a lower profile in recent years, John's unmistakable voice and lovable persona have kept him in the hearts of fans, proving that even the bar's most eccentric regular could make a global impact. George Wendt played Norm Peterson, the beloved barfly whose entrances were always greeted with a chorus of "Norm!" With his dry wit and unshakable barstool presence, Norm became one of the most iconic characters in sitcom history. After the show, George continued his acting journey with The George Wendt Show and guest spots on series like Sabrina the Teenage Witch. He also lent his talents to Frasier and Becker, keeping his Cheers roots alive. George has remained active in the world of theater, performing in productions such as Hairspray, Art, and Death of a Salesman. He's also appeared in indie films and comedies, including Stealing a Survivor and Mooch. Off-screen, George has been married to actress Bernadette Burkett, who voiced the never-seen Vera, Norm's wife, since 1978, and they share 3 children. While Norm may have preferred the comforts of his favorite barstool, Wendt's career has traveled far beyond it. Rhea Perlman portrayed Carla Tortelli, the feisty, sharp-tongued waitress with a no-nonsense attitude and a brood of kids to manage. Her tough love and killer comebacks made Carla a standout in every episode, and Perla earned 4 Emmys for the role. After Cheers, she starred in the sitcom Pearl and appeared in shows like The Mindy Project and Me and My Grandpa. Her comedic instincts and fiery presence kept her in demand across both television and film. Rhea's versatility extended to family films and children's content, including a role in the 2022 Netflix musical 13 and the box office hit Barbie. She also authored the Auto Undercover children's book series, showcasing her creative talents beyond acting. In her personal life, Perlman was famously married to Danny DeVito, although they separated in 2012. The pair remained close friends and collaborators. Kirstie Alley joined Cheers in 1983 as Rebecca Howe, a role that earned her an Emmy Award for Outstanding Lead Actress in a Comedy Series. She brought a new dynamic to the show with her character, who was a driven yet often vulnerable businesswoman. After Cheers, Kirstie went on to star in the sitcom Veronica's Closet, which ran from 1997 to 2000 and was a big hit. She also appeared in films such as Look Who's Talking and its sequel, and made various guest appearances on shows like The Simpsons and Drop Dead Diva. In the later years, Kirstie became a prominent public figure, participating in reality TV shows like Dancing with the Stars and Celebrity Big Brother. Unfortunately, Kirstie Alley passed away in December 2022 after a short battle with cancer. Despite her passing, her legacy lives on in the hearts of Cheers fans and those who admired her work in television and film. Despite the passing of some beloved cast members, the majority of the Cheers alumni continue to lead fulfilling careers. Many of the actors remain active in the entertainment industry, often collaborating on new projects or revisiting the iconic characters that made them famous. Fans continue to celebrate the wit, charm, and camaraderie that Cheers brought to television screens. And even though their lives have evolved over the years, the spirit of joy that defined their Cheers characters lives on.